Okay, I know I'm going to sound like a lunatic, but this pond area that is right off Happy Hollow, it's hard to see because the grass has grown up. I've looked at it, I don't see anything, but man, I keep drawn to this, or this area. If you go back down the road, back down that way, there is like a bunch of like places. If I was gonna hide a body, I would dump a body. Like where you, and I've seen mattresses dumped off there. I saw like a mattress in a box spring. So if I was gonna dump a body, it would be there. God, I'm drawn to this. It's okay. I know it look rough. Bear with me, but I'm just like a dog with a bone on this case. And I have driven up and down. I've driven from where Sebastian's mom and stepdad live to where Chris's mom and stepdad live, and done that a couple of times. I've taken the path both ways that she would have gone from Texas Roadhouse. I mean, both are very residential. And Long Hollow, when people were talking about, oh man, all this wooded area, Long Hollow is a very busy road. You know, I wouldn't be, even in the dead of night, trying to dump a body out there. And again, I pray that Sebastian is not dead. I'm just saying, worst case scenario. And across the street, it's either that what is flat, there's fences, so it would be hard to get to, especially if you're wanting to be quick. You can't take your time because it's a busy road. Busier than it used to be when I was a kid, even. Very busy road to get from here to Gallatin. And just not somewhere you would hide a body. And the woods, even like the woods across the street that I'm pointing to, it's hilly. I'm not going to want to drag a body up a hill. But back there, like I said, there's some gullies, like perfect dumping spots. And then this pond, I keep getting drawn to this pond. So I've done this multiple times and gotten the same reaction. All right. Sebastian, is your body near Chris's mom's house? Got to start doing it before I even finish the question, so that's a no. Sebastian, is your body near your mother's house? Trying to hold my breath. It's going in a circle. Okay. I've got my arm against the steering wheel to kind of make it steady so I'm not jerking my hands or anything. Sebastian, is your body over here on Happy Hollow? I think I moved that a little bit. Hold on. Is it on Happy Hollow? I did it again. Happy Hollow. Are you back down there in the gully? No. Sebastian, is your body in or around this pond? Holding my breath. I am not even moving. Oh, wow. That's a lot of movement. That's a lot of movement. That's a yes, if you don't know. Is your body in or around this pond? Now look away so I'm not. Are you in or around this pond? Look away so I'm not going to influence it. That's another yes. Oh, creepy. And this is every time I do this and every time I do a reading. I've said this from the beginning. Well, at first I thought, okay, logically, there's a lot of woods kind of near where Chris's mom lives, but hard to get to, and it's very residential, but still a lot of farm too, so possible dump sites. But again, I wouldn't be that stupid to dump a body right near my house, but There is a greenway that's kind of over, not too far, but you got to go down a different road to get to it. Possible. It looks like a lot of people are looking at the creek, which is a very big creek behind Worsham's, which is plausible. If people saw, allegedly saw Chris's mom there on that morning. But my gut keeps telling me whatever happened before she made him go to bed. Enough time. I'm just saying he was put wherever he was put before 6 o'clock when she woke up. I mean, just my is telling me. And I swear to God, it's just... So I went here today with the idea of, okay, if I were to murder someone, where would I put them? Okay, so she's, again, hypothetical. This is based on nothing. I accuse no one, sort of. But if I were to leave out her little subdivision, take a right, because that would be the easier under the cover of night. This is 2 roads up from her house, or the main road that you turn off of. 2 roads up, and it's a holla. So there's places that you can dump things. Things are dumped here. And with the foliage grown up like it is, hard to see. So it's areas that are not tended. There's no one mowing. If it fell and rolled, it would be very hard to see unless you got down in there. And you're talking, that's at least 1/4 mile wide of an area that I'm talking about. Plus this area right here. If I was more brave, I would get a stick and poke the pond to see what I felt. And I may do that because I'm that curious. But yeah, so this is just what my gut's saying. And oh my gosh. So while I'm driving around today, I'm driving around and I see these 2 girls and I'm like, they look high school age. So I go down, I whip back around. Car's behind me. I gotta whip around again so I look like a crazy stalker person, which I guess technically I am. And I pull up and I'm like, girls, because they're walking on the side of the road. I'm like, girls, are y'all, weird question, are you in high school? They're like, yes. I go, do you go to beach? They're like, yes. And I go, do you know Sebastian? I didn't even have to say Rogers. And they're like, yeah. And the one girl says she actually knows him better than I do because she's had some classes with him. So I got to talking. I'm like, so tell me about him. Like, was he a weirdo? Was he whatever? And she's like, nah, he's just there. Like, no. She said beach tends to be, a lot of people that go there mean. And yeah, I remember beach and Hendersonville kids being mean when I was younger. So I get that. So that's possible. But she said she said firstly that he was verbal, but she said he was in a lot of regular classes. So he wasn't in but maybe a couple of special classes, but for the most part he was in regular classes. So when people are saying autistic, they're just making it sound like he just needed so much care and attention. And I'm like, I went to school with people that were autistic. They functioned fine. They may have been a little more socially awkward, but they were smart. I mean, they're not, I'm trying to not say ugly things, but, it's not like the kid wasn't functioning. He was a kid, he just might have been a little more awkward, maybe slower, but mostly awkward. And people are lumping him into, they're making it sound like he just was completely not able to sustain himself. And I'm like, these girls are telling me what I was assuming anyway. And she said that the one other girl said that Seth, the dad, had come to the school a couple of weeks ago and spoke to the school. But I go, okay. I go, so if you had to guess, what do you think happened? And they're like, the mom and stepdad. I go, I know, right? because the one said, I would just be beside myself. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. If I couldn't find my kid, you'd be sick of seeing me so much. Like, I would be obnoxiously in your face. So they, out of the mouth of babes, said exactly what I was thinking. And again, I mean, just because someone's autistic doesn't mean they're completely unfunctionable. I mean, obviously the kid could go and eat food. He didn't have to have food cut for him. He's able to change his own clothes. He's able to go to a hockey game. He's not as dysfunctional as people are making him sound, is what I'm thinking, and is what it makes them sound. I'm kicking myself for not asking if he had a lot of friends. But, you know, I mean, at least they knew him, and they were like, he was fine, you know, he wasn't. I asked, was he ooky or what, you know, anything like that, and they're like, no, I mean, he wasn't. He's just a kid, you know. No, they didn't really have anything bad to say about him other than that the people at that school could be mean, and I get that, totally understand that completely. But I'm surprised more people haven't asked the students. I mean, the kids are going to have such better insight on his personality. I mean, and they right there, they didn't even mention that he could have walked off by himself. Didn't even come across their lips. But they were very quick to be like, you know, the dad came to the school and spoke. And that's when I asked, so what do you think happened? Boom. I mean, without hesitation, said what I've been thinking. And, you know, it was so nice of them to sit and talk. I go, you know, I know, you know, I don't want you to think I'm a serial killer, because obviously I'm not. I'm a woman. And I go, I'm not going to murder you, which is exactly what a serial killer would say. But I just keep getting pulled here, even before I realized there was a pond here. And I've been looking at all, because there's so many creeks and little streams. Pretty much on the side of every road is a gully. And on the other side of the street, there's all these creeks, like Mansker Creek's up the road. This, I don't even know what this creek is called. That I guess dips over here a little bit. I even went down Thompson and, you know, I even looked at some places that looked like could be dump sites, and I didn't see anything abnormal. But I just think everyone's looking in that creek, which I think is where Terry Lynn is. I'm pretty sure that's where she is. And I think she was over at the Hendersonville Park, which I'm like, oh, no one's going to dump a body there. But out here, I mean, that's the one thing of me driving around here. I'm realizing real quick, there's a lot of places to hide a body in Tennessee. A lot of places to hide a body. And, you know, I feel so badly for the real family members that care. Again, I'm not accusing them of anything. I'm kind of accusing you. I'm accusing you, Katie. And I'm totally accusing you, Chris, of helping. There, I said it. I have no proof for that. You can try to sue me and get all the nothing that I have. Good luck with that. But I think most people have a gnawing feeling that what I've been thinking from the day one happened. So, and now that Seth has actually come out and said it, I'm sure he felt a weight lift on him to finally say the words. So I feel for him and the family. But I'm just telling you, I keep getting drawn over here. I hope I'm wrong. I hope he is safe and just hiding out at friend's house or something. Because they didn't say anything about him not having friends. And again, I'm kicking myself for not asking more. But again, I was on the side of the road. I was worried about traffic coming and running into all of us. But, I mean, they didn't say he didn't have friends. They didn't say he was a loner. They didn't say anything like that. They just said, you know, he was in regular classes. He was verbal. And again, people just paint autistic people in a corner like they're just helpless. And I don't think he was helpless. I don't think that at all. I don't think he was so disabled that he couldn't function. Clearly, he was in regular classes. People are confusing, and I'll just say it. And again, I may be wrong about my category. categorizing, but they're confusing autistic with retardation, which is an actual, I'm not calling anyone retarded, I'm just saying that's an actual condition. And he doesn't have retardation, he's just got autism, or a spectrum of it, and like everyone says, high functioning. Everyone that anyone said is these high functioning. And I mean, his father says he didn't wear pull-ups at his house, so clearly that's a just their problem situation. And I get it, man. If you're stressed out, I think even if you don't have autism, if you're in a stress situation you might have accidents. Oh God, I pee myself all the time. It's a thing. Again, not to go on and on about it, but man, I'm very upset about this. Because I know so when I drove out by, the Chris's mom's house, the black truck is out there with, I could see in the window, there was taped inside the window, a flyer, and there was a sign at the end of Kathy's Street, and then there's the sign that's still in Katie's yard, and there was a blue Volkswagen SUV in the driveway. Yeah, I'm a stalker. I don't know, whatever. I'm not stalking. I'm just retracing and trying to search. I'm trying to search, which is more than what those two are doing. I'm just saying. Again, there's so many ticks out here. I really want to go into that pond just to see if possibly, because there's rocks around here. Just saying, if you're going to weigh a body down. Oh, I'm going to kick myself if I don't go in there. All right, wish me luck. So there's gravel. You see there's a lot of rocks that if one were to want to weigh something down, easy to find here. I was lucky enough to find a stick that didn't have a snake underneath it. A lot of weeds. So I found a stick. So I tried poking it around, but man, look at all this. You're right there from the road. So it'd be so easy to pull your car off, bring a body over here, and again, I'm sure someone's gonna come and be like, what are you doing? And some people were like, you shouldn't go on someone's property without permission. Whatever. What you can do, call the law? I mean, yeah, possibly, but... And hopefully they have checked this.